Hey everyone, it's Trishna, and I have somewhat improved my overhead setup over here, and so I thought that I would do a collective reading. Take advantage of this. So, we're going to do a quick collective reading, or I think it will be quick, we'll see. And I'm going to be using 3 or 4 different decks. The one that I'm shuffling right here is a new deck that I just got while I was in New Mexico, in Roswell actually, at a store called like Hecate something. And this deck I wasn't planning on buying anything in there. I was just really going in as a tourist, just like trying to kill time. But there was a deck that called out to me, and it was this one. The Field Guide to Garden Dragons, and it's so cute. Oh. And the guidebook is really cute too, and it kind of teaches you about plants in a really fun kind of way through dragons. So yeah, all right, so that's the first deck. And I guess we already have a card. And then I'm also going to be using Work with the Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. Going to be using the Mirror Lenormand deck, or Mirror Truth Lenormand deck by Sylvia Knightsner, and possibly the Rider-Waite Smith. Oops, sorry. learning the deal here. All right, cards fallen out, left, right, and center. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we have the first round here. To me, center it. Oops. All right. So we have the watermelon dragon, artichoke dragon, radish dragon, celery dragon, and turnip dragon. And didn't I say that this was freaking adorable? Okay, all right, let's tune in for a moment here. So success is very much on the minds of a lot of people right now. It's still very early in the year. It hasn't even been 3 months into 2023. And I feel like there is this energy of really wanting to move forward. And I did a collective reading a few days ago that I think will have already been posted by the time you see this video. And I felt like my audience really had this drive to want to move forward. And I feel like that aligns very much with what this reading is saying here as well. And I also feel like we're doing a really good job of not pushing ourselves too much. Sometimes when we work really hard, we can be kind of harsh on ourselves. We can get really into the productivity game and become toxically productive, where we feel really good when we're productive and we're getting things done. And somehow that changes our mentality to where we think anytime that we're relaxing, that we are wasting time, that we could be moving forward, that we're not keeping up with everybody else, keeping up with the Joneses. And so I feel that while we have this drive for success, we are still honoring renewal, we're honoring rest. We are realizing that rest is one of the most productive things that we can do. Working on our mindset is one of the most productive things that we can do, because the mindset is everything. If you're very capable of doing XYZ, but you don't believe that you can do XYZ, you may start doing XYZ and never cross the finish line because you don't believe it. You don't have that energy power, that battery pack power within yourself to push yourself to the finish line and give yourself the resilience that you really need in order to attain the success. So to have the success, make sure to keep focusing on rest as well, to keep focusing on your mindset, having that internal resilience, and know that all processes, all journeys involve growth. So if you're just like, oh, I'm manifesting this, or oh, I'm working on my goals and I'm really trying to get here. Oh no, I hit this roadblock. What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Don't look at it that way. Look at it as, oh, I'm growing even more to become an even greater version of myself. That's all that growth really is. And if we embrace it as a benefit, then every growth that we encounter will be a benefit. If we embrace growth as a benefit, then that's the energy that we're putting out. Anytime I'm growing, I'm benefiting. It's serving me. It's getting me even more and more. I'm becoming even more successful. So use everything around you to your advantage, and drop the oars of needing to be perfect. Drop the oars of anytime you hit a roadblock that you feel like you're getting behind. Drop the oars of, I don't always want to share what I'm working on with other people, because if they don't believe in me, they might tell me, and then I might doubt myself. Or if they say you can never do this, and then I still want to do it, I might feel awkward about it, like I'm not listening to them, or I don't honor their opinions. Let all of that go. Focus on you, focus on your success. And if you keep that the central point of everything that you're doing, and you make sure that everything around you is serving that central point, then you will be successful. So for example, if somebody does tell you, hey, I don't think that you should do this because you're not going to be that good at it, use that to your advantage. Use everything around you to your advantage and say, okay, somehow that advice is serving me. It's making me believe in myself even more, or it's making me take a closer look at what I'm doing to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that really honors my own personal strengths. I don't know why this person came into my life to tell me that, but I know that it's serving me in some way. Or let's say someone says, I don't think you should do that, and then it makes you feel awkward, and you feel like, oh, if I do what I want to do, it will be like I am dishonoring their advice. Well, even that you can turn into your advantage and be like, you know what? I don't know why I feel this way, but I do know that it's serving me. It's making me feel stronger in my own goals and to know that I am not necessarily responsible for other people's happiness, and that we can have differing opinions and still love each other. So you may not come up with those conclusions like the answers that I just gave, but you can tell yourself, I don't know why I feel awkward about this, but I know it's serving me in some way. And if you keep saying things like that to yourself, then everything in your life will serve you in some way. That is the law of attraction. I feel a little bit of stress, a little bit of angst in your energy. What is it about though? I think you are doubting yourself a little bit right now. We're talking so much about success, Trishna. You're telling me it's coming, but now that you're telling me that, it's kind of making me wonder, is it though? Is this my reading? It's a collective reading. Does it mean I'm going to be successful? Even if it is my reading, do I have what it takes? Yes, you do. But you got to follow this mentality that I'm giving you. If you doubt whether you have what it takes, then tell yourself, I don't know why I doubt this, but I do know that it's serving me in some way. This doubt is serving me in some way. If you're not sure if this is your reading, but you wish it was, tell yourself, I'm not sure why I don't know. I don't believe that this is my reading, but I do know that that doubt, that uncertainty is serving me in some way. I do know that I came to this reading for a reason. Whether it's my reading or not, it is serving me in some way. There is something that I am getting out of this that is going to give me the success that I desire. So, we got fish on top of renewal. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you desire success in, it's going to bring in abundance. It's going to bring in the success that you are looking for. Even if what you want is more artsy or doesn't seem like it's related to money, but maybe a part of you wishes that it was related to money, it will be. We got the lily. Whatever it is that you desire seems really pure to me, and it seems like something that's going to grow. Crossroads. So like I was saying before with growth, sometimes it can put us at a crossroads. It can make us think, what did I do wrong? What should I have done differently? Now my energy is split. I was moving forward, feeling good, feeling successful, and now there is an obstacle, and I don't know where I went wrong. And so now this energy of I'm doing great or I'm doing wrong. I'm doing great or I'm doing wrong. I'm not really sure which one anymore. In fact, I think that I did something wrong. But if you decide that you did everything right, no matter how it appears, then whether or not you actually did something right or wrong, the path will converge. This is the crossroads, but there is no crossroads. There is only one path that leads to growth right here. So it's all in about how you think about it. Guarded and garden. That's kind of hard to say together. Yeah, I think this being guarded is around other people and what they think, the public. Maybe this is how you were before and you're trying to let go of that. I think you've mostly let go of that, so you don't need to go backwards. But if you feel like you haven't, then tell yourself, I don't feel like I've let go of this. But I know that whatever I'm still holding on to is serving me in some way. And I know that when I'm ready to let it go, I will, and that will serve me in many ways. So don't go back and fight yourself about, oh, I'm being too guarded about this, I'm being too close-chested about this, I'm not trusting about this. Don't go back and be like, oh yeah, I am feeling this, I should go and fix it. Decide that it is already fixed. Decide that it is okay. Whether it's fixed or not, it's for the best. And then it will transform into the best version for you. Your resilience with the tree is growing. So over time, you will gain much more emotional and mental fortitude, right? Much more inner strength to where you won't even need to be guarded because you're so strong inside. We need to be guarded when we think that somebody outside of us can influence us in some way that's negative. We think they can say something that will hurt us. We think that they can put down our dreams and then we'll hurt ourselves. We think that they can take certain actions that betray us, so we keep ourselves guarded. But when we are resilient, that comes from inside. And then it doesn't matter what anybody else does. We know that we're okay. And we can drop our guards. And we're free, regardless of who we're around or with. Actually, we're not going to use the Work Your Light Oracle cards today. But we are going to finish off with the Rider-Waite-Smith. Some of you are still feeling a little bit stressed. Some of you are feeling stressed but more hopeful now. Good. For those of you who are feeling stressed but hopeful, tell yourself, I may not know why I'm feeling hopeful, but I do know that it's serving me. For those of you who are feeling stressed but not hopeful, tell yourself, I'm not sure why I'm not feeling the hope just yet, but I do know that it is serving me in some way. Queen of Cups. You are becoming much more resilient, right? Queen of Cups is about emotions, but that emotional maturity and strength from inside that allows us to be loving even in situations that previously would have made us guarded. That allows us to open our hearts to anybody that we cross our paths with because we know that we are okay and we are safe and we are divinely guided and protected. If resilience has felt like a lot of work for you, right? I have to keep up my resilience. I have to keep convincing myself that everything's okay or that whatever other people are saying to me is not true. I'm having to work on it, keep it up, do the mental work. It is paying off and is going to lead to the results that you're looking for. Sometimes this kind of work, this mental work, this inner work, takes a little longer than we would like. Manifestation can happen very quickly, but not always. Sometimes things take longer. But I will say that in my experience, the things that have taken longer have been well worth it and have also lasted significantly longer. So don't worry about how long something takes to manifest or whether you are at this crossroads. I'm doing all this work, but I'm not seeing the results. I'm working on my mindset, but I'm not being as resilient as I thought I would be by now. Don't be so concerned about the time. The more concerned you are about the time, the longer things take. Impatience breeds more impatience. But when you let go of the time and understand that if it takes longer, it's going to be better. Not taking that on as a belief, right? Because you don't want that to be a belief that you hold. But you do want to say, I don't know why this is taking so long, but I know that for whatever reason, it is serving me. Right? Everything is serving me. Then whether things happen quickly or long, Both ways they are serving you. And with the Sun card, you are going to have a lot of success, a lot of strength. And this resilience that you're developing is not going to feel like resilience anymore. It's going to feel very natural to you. It's just going to feel like love, right? At first, resilience feels like we're having to be strong. We're having to push against something. And we think that maybe we're pushing against what somebody else is saying, but a lot of times we're actually pushing against the negative thoughts that we have in our own mind, the doubts. The voices of others that we take on as our own and tell ourselves the same things that they've told us. But once it has been mastered, once the strain has been cleared, it's love, it's openness, it's broad. There's nothing that we need to be guarded against. There's nothing we need to be resilient against. So a lot of this energy that's going on is going to shift in your favor. So if you've been feeling the stress, like I was saying in this reading, it's going to go. It's okay. It's part of the process, but it's going to go. It's going to go away and you're going to feel a lot more relaxed. And if you want to know, if you want this to be a reading and you want to know if it is, it is. It is your reading. All right. Don't think you can see here. Yeah, so the growth that you're going to have, that you will now decide is serving you, whether you can see how or not, is going to get you the abundance that you're looking for. It's going to get you boss vibes. Look at that, double boss vibes. 9 of Pentacles is kind of like, yeah, it's boss vibes. And then the Emperor, I mean, come on. Not only will you have the boss exterior of your life, where things are working out and this actually becomes your reality, but you will also embody that energy in yourself. Look at how calm he is sitting there on that chair. I mean, he's got a stress ball in his hands, in my opinion, so maybe not as calm as he looks, but for the most part, he looks pretty calm, pretty chill. He thinks things through thoroughly because he is the boss. He doesn't have to worry about it. He doesn't have to think, am I being a good one? Am I doing the right things? He just is it now. And that is what awaits you. Now, if you're like, I don't really want to be a boss, don't worry. It doesn't have to be career. It can be, but doesn't have to be. You could just be the boss of yourself, your own life, your own mind, your own reality. So, will you have to leave people behind for your success? Not necessarily. I think that's kind of a belief that's out there. Like, when you want to be successful, other people don't want that for you, and you'll trigger them, and then they'll want to bring you down, and you have to ignore that. There's some of that, and I think some of that showing up here in the energy with being guarded, having to be resilient. But to me, a lot of this is really about the internal work and not so much about the people around us. I think there is a belief out there that if you're successful, people will hate you. And yes, that's true, but it's also not true, right? Some people do that, yes. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people get inspired by other people who are successful. And they see themselves in that successful person and they want to be like them. And that person becomes this inspiration for them, this model of somebody who's done it already, which means maybe I can do it too. So I think that message is to help you let down your guard and build up that resilience, to find your people who support you because they exist and they're around. And if you don't have them in your life just yet, they're going to show up. And you will have many people who want to support you, King of Wands. So, if you are looking for success, success is looking for you. If you want success, it is yours. If you wish this reading was yours, it is yours. I'm not just saying that just because it's something that I really feel. It's something that Spirit is specifically telling me. If you want this reading to be yours, it is yours. Oh, I didn't even finish here. You're going to have financial abundance with whatever it is that you want to bring success in, and you will also have emotional abundance. And I don't just mean that in terms of relationships. If that's what you're looking for, yeah, you'll get that too. But I mean it in terms of, see, a lot of mindset work works really well when we have the emotional work that ties into it. But sometimes when we work on our mindset, we're not always feeling it. If you're working on affirmations, you're saying the affirmations, but you're not necessarily feeling it. Maybe you feel it the first few days that you do it, but after a while, it kind of becomes kind of like a chore or a task, right? Or it's just something that you say because you want to get the number of affirmations in or whatever amount of time. But when all this materializes, you will feel all the things that you want to feel. You will not just say the things that you want, you will feel the things that you want. And that will give you so much emotional joy and comfort, because then as you create new things, you're not in this kind of limbo space of I'm saying the words, I'm visualizing the visions, but I'm not feeling it. Is this working? You won't have that question anymore. You won't be at that crossroads. Because going forward, as you achieve all of this, maybe even sooner, maybe this is an indication that that success is just around, not even just around the corner, that it's almost there, that it's 2 steps away, 1 step away, actually maybe not even steps away, is when you feel the things that you're thinking and visualizing. So for some of you, the moment that happens is the moment that boom, everything happens. For others of you, as you start attaining the success, as you ask for more, you will feel it. And that, I'm telling you, is, I don't know how to put that into words. I think it's something that you'll just have to experience. Maybe some of you guys are already feeling what I'm trying to say here, but that's going to be such an amazing feeling. Like that's when you know that you've really hit success, not just in the material world, but also in the spiritual world. Let's do bottoms of the deck. We have rods. We have the King of Swords. And we have Blackberry Dragon. Timing. It's very important that you slice through anything that is negative in your mind. Don't repeat these negative patterns. They don't serve you. They don't serve you. Make the decision now to think more specifically, to think with more intention, more precision, more responsibly. Where do you want to spend your mental currency? If your thoughts are money, where would you want to spend them? On things that make you more money or on things that make you lose money? So anything that doesn't give you more, anything that doesn't serve you, cut that shit out. You start thinking about something that someone did in the past and you start going down that spiral, cut that out. Don't relive that. Don't bring that back in. Be like, oh, no, we're not doing this. We're not going down that path. Because the moment you start thinking something negative, what happens? You attract even more negative memories, even more negative thoughts, and you're in a spiral real fast. That's what happens. And then when we get negative like that, we think that's reality. Because we made it so. But if you stop it sooner rather than later and be like, no. Focusing on the present and the future, not the past. Then you get out of that spiral. You start thinking about something good and you get in a good spiral. And then your life starts getting swept up in a good spiral. The timing is serving you, and I don't mean that in terms of like, hey, things are going to take a really long time, but it's serving you. I mean that in terms of things are going to happen relatively quickly. If that makes you nervous, that's okay. You know what you do? You tell yourself, I don't know why this is making me feel nervous, or maybe I do. Either way, I know that it's serving me. And in doing that, what happens? You feel a little less stressed about your nervousness. You feel a little less stressed and nervous about whatever it is that you're nervous about. And what does that do? It relaxes your body and your nervous system. And what does that do? It starts bringing your desires to you significantly faster. And you get to enjoy it more along the way. So, that was the collective reading. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys liked these little dragon cards. I love them. I think it's my favorite deck now. And I will catch you in the next one.